Okay, so I'm going to show you how to use the foam plate. So when you're getting out your supplies, you're going to get a foam plate. You need to be careful with this because you don't want to press into it or actually bend it because it will break and it will imprint on it, okay? And you can use either side, doesn't matter which one. Some of the supplies that you're going to need, some tempera paint, okay? You probably need quite a bit for this. You're going to need some stamps, all right? You might want to use, try out your, if you make one of the hot glue stamps as well, okay? You need a brayer and something to wipe off your stuff with, okay? All right, other stuff that might be helpful, now a lot of times you'll probably have a bucket you can collect stuff with, is a paintbrush, all right? So here we go. We're going to start off with creating a mono print. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some paint, I'm going to put it on, okay? Doesn't matter how you put it on. I'm going to end up rolling this anyway. So put this here, there, just a little bit, okay? And you kind of want to move a little bit fast with this. Okay, nice thin layer. Okay, it can actually disappear out, so it looks like it's coming out. All right, so that's a nice thin layer. I'm going to press into it. So this is what it would look like if I pressed into it. You could press again, but what happens is you have a lot of ink, so notice it doesn't come out as clear. So if you wipe it off by just pressing onto a piece of paper, that's fine. Okay, so I'm going to take this and go across. Some other things that you can do is, this is another stamp. Take this, press this down, and it'll imprint it. Okay, pretty cool. So if I want to hide something, so for example, I don't want this to be printed, I'm going to cover this with my one stencil. I'm going to show you what this would look like when we print. Okay, so we're going to do that. Now we're going to need our white paper. Okay, so this is a little bit thicker white paper. And we're going to take this and we're going to press it down. So we're just going to press all down, try to get in all the little nooks and crannies of things. Okay, so this is going to be our first layer. Take this and pull this off. Okay, kind of light, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to see if I can maybe actually add a little bit of water on it, just a little bit. So I put a little bit of just plain water. Okay, I'm going to take this off. This is kind of light, as I said. It should be a little bit darker. It's be a little bit more like right like this. That's a little dark. Okay, so I'm going to take this off and I want to make a ghost print. So that's going to have a shape. That's going to have a shape. All right. Now this should be dry before you do anything else. This is actually kind of dry already. Actually, I want to see if I can print another layer in here. I wonder. Ooh, that's cool. Take this, press it on. Ooh, I kind of can see this. Now, right now, as I said, it's really light. Yeah, really thick. I'm going to add more on. You can go over this a couple of times. Other things that you can do is you can actually paint into this or carefully, very carefully scratch into it. You don't want to be too hard, because if you press too hard, it will imprint on it. There we go, that's much better. So I'm going to go like this, little waves. I'll scratch very lightly. As I said, don't go too much, because you'll scratch the actual face. Then I'm going to do, I'll do this one right here. There we go. And then since this is dry, go over it. Alright, so let's see. Ooh, that's pretty cool. See how we're now creating layers over this? That's what a monoprint is. This is a unique print because it's the only time you're going to be able to make this. You're not going to be able to replicate this. And instead of painting straight on, we're actually pressing into it to create this. Now to clean up, obviously, all the things that you've used to, use for the paint, they have to be wiped down, okay? Hot water. When you're washing your stamp, okay? Not your stamp, excuse me. The tray. You have to be very careful. Nice hot water, very carefully wipe it off and dry it off and replace it, okay? And that's how you create a monoprint. Now, some of the other things that you can do, so this is one that I was working on, is, let's see, layers. One other way you can do is, this is spray. I know, spray paint, pretty cool. All right, make sure that you have this covered and you lightly spritz it. Okay, it's wet. See, all that. Take this up and you'll have the ghost on there. Now, obviously, the more and more that you have, you know, it's going to get covered. So it's just an idea. You can always put things down too, all right? And it's a build-up of the way we're going to do this background, all right? And as I said, just be careful with cleanup with your foam stamp because we don't want to crack it. We don't want to press into it too much, all right? And wash up everything and return everything.